Freedom Flowers. Welcome to Late Night in the Midlands, and I'm ready to get started when you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready here. Just so the listeners know, we're going to be having two guests with us as well, Justin Cook and Nelson Legacy. Both very well known when it comes to Project Bluebeam, so they'll be joining us as well. You want me to start?
Absolutely. Let's do this. So tell us about Bluebeam, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, Bluebeam basically is a project that is being pushed by NASA, and it has 4 different steps in order to implement the New Age religion. Now, we have to keep in mind here, guys, that this is the ultimate plan of the New World Order. It's to implement a one-world religion, and a lot of people are pushing this by joining the New Age so-called ideology. All right? So without this, the New World Order won't be able to put their plan into fruition. They won't be able to do it. So that is why Project Bluebeam is so important to them. Okay? But it's been so hidden until Serge Monast, who was a Canadian journalist, brought this into the public eye. And I have to say this before I continue with this, that Serge Monast was actually, he actually died in 1996, I believe it was, of a so-called heart attack. His daughter was also abducted, okay, and it was never returned to him. He also had another guy who was a journalist who helped write the Project Bluebeam article, and this guy who was in Ireland also died of a mysterious heart attack a few weeks after Serge Monast. So this is quite interesting. So back to Project Bluebeam now. In principle, it will make use of the skies as like a giant movie screen. Space-based laser-generating satellites will project simultaneous images all over the globe in every language and dialect according to the region. It deals with the religious aspects of the New World Order and its deception and seduction on a massive scale. So computers will coordinate the satellites and software that are already in place that will run the sky show. They'll have holographic images that are based on nearly identical signals combining to produce an image or hologram with deep perspective, which is equally applicable to acoustic ELF, VLF, and LF waves and optical phenomenon. Specifically, the show will consist of multiple holographic images to different parts of the world, and each one will receive a different image according to the specific national region religion. So if you're a Muslim, you'll be getting these images in your own language. Okay, if you are French, for instance, you'll be getting those images and the words in your language. So with computer animation and sounds appearing to emanate from the very depth of space, astonished ardent followers of various creeds will witness their own returned messiahs in convincing lifelike reality. And we've seen this all over the internet with images of holograms being seen in the sky of Jesus Christ, of the Virgin Mary. And like I said, there are 4 steps that are involved with Project Bluebeam, and I believe firmly that we are in step 2 right now. So what do you guys think about that so far? Quite interesting.
Well, I'll go first. I'll say I have more of a question here now, and I always just got to throw this question out there. Now, should they do something like this, and obviously it's in their plans, how do we know if it's real or if it's like, say, with UFOs, they make it look like we're being invaded or something? I mean, how will we know for sure that they're using Project Bluebeam or if it's really, UFOs?
Well, the thing is, you really won't, because the technology is so advanced that they can make it look so real. And that's the scariest part of it all, not to be able to tell the difference if that's really what you're seeing is real or if it's fake.
Okay, so let me throw this in there then. So then if they make these things appear, then basically stand there and see if they shoot at you. And if you're not being shot at, then they're probably not real. I don't know.
Well, the thing is that if they have the satellite in space, it's called NROL-32 that they put up a couple of years ago, which has a laser beam that can basically shoot down from the satellite onto Earth and pinpoint specific targets. So they could use that as well as like some type of alien death ray gun, from like a mothership.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think there is any way to tell the difference.
I think that, it's got to be close to them trying to use something like that, because they're already making homeless illegal and throwing them in FEMA camps. along with everything else. So, how far away? I mean, is this supposed to be their last card that they pull, or do you think that this will be a desperation card that they pull?
No, this was supposed to occur around the year 2000, but it was pushed back because a lot of people became aware of Project Bluebeam, and they didn't necessarily have the technology to really pull it off. But to answer your question, yes, this will be the end game.
Okay, Peter, what do you think? Well, he must be muted. Peter? All right. So you've done a lot of research on this, and I'm sure even more than I have. So how are they doing this? Are they using HARP? Is that part of the mechanism used for this?
HARP is part of the mechanism, yes, and they're using holographic images that it was actually created in Japan to do this. And Beam is involved. Every organization is involved. The CIA, FBI, everything. Every type of government institution is going to be involved in this. The military.
Uh-huh. I see.
Hey,
yeah.
Michael.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
No, I actually wasn't muted. I'm like, why can't they hear me?
Yeah, I seen you disappear for a second there, and I said, uh-oh. But, yeah, because last night we got knocked off the air for about, I don't know, 30 seconds. I mean, again, it was, and let me tell you guys, that's why I asked for donations. I have a most powerful internet connection to assure that I don't have blog talk radio type problems. And so when it does happen, somebody's doing it. But go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, something that came out, about 2 weeks ago, and it made some minor news, not a whole lot. And that was that the Pope declared all religions in the world true. All roads lead to everlasting salvation now? Is that it?
Now, did he say that they were true, or did he just say that they're not wrong? Because, there's a fine line in there.
The way that I read it, he was saying that they were all true. Now, I didn't read the complete article to see exactly what he had to say, but I noticed it. It was one of those things like, what? Okay. And they did. It had a small little bit on the mainstream media news too for about 12 hours, 14 hours, something like that. I think I first picked it up actually on CNN China news, to be honest with you. So that's kind of an interesting move at this time. Now, it's not just this isn't just brand new off the press. This is something that Pope John Paul II has been working on for quite some time. I think it all started out at the Council of Assisi, if I recall correctly. And all the top religious leaders from all different religions around the world all got together for a little powwow. They even, and I use that term seriously because there was actually different American Indian tribes represented here, and they were looking to unite everyone. So this has been going on for about 20 years. And, here we are in this very interesting time, and now you have a Jesuit Pope that comes out and he's endorsing the same thing. So let me get this right. We have a Jesuit Pope, and the Jesuits are in charge of the banking system. They don't seem to like the Federal Reserve debt note that we are under now, and the Vatican is going to collapse it one way or the other. At least that's what the Pope's 41-page treatise on reforming the world's financial system was all about. The Vatican's willing to baptize aliens. That's cool. So I guess we can expect something to show up. That they own the biggest infrared satellite on the planet, and they named it Lucifer. So, you look at all these little things. Now we come along with Project Bluebeam. And Bluebeam gained a lot of popularity about 3 or 4 years ago. And then it kind of slid off the map. So, I'm happy to revisit this But I think Project Bluebeam might just be the tip of what the final card, the final alien card that they're going to wind up playing. And when you look at the advancements in military technology, not just the hardware, but biologically too, and the advancements in genetic engineering in general, we can pretty much figure that they could have a cloned army that looks like aliens waiting to attack the Earth in ships made by the USA.
See, and now people.
And it's interesting. Oh, sorry, Michael, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and people who might just be tuning in and never heard this kind of stuff, you know, your mainstream media watchers, they're probably like, oh, these guys are crazy. But, you know, Peter, that's not far from the truth. They very well could. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up the cloning issue.